Satnam, Satnam. I'm not sure I've done a YouTube live naked in the shower. Have I done a YouTube live naked in the shower? Well, what better time to do it than when you're feeling sick, right? So I'm Chief Jericho and I'm the Feel Better Coach, and I'm coming to you in a little so life can change on a dime, you know. Some change can be really slow. I just saw that today, 50 years ago, interracial marriage was deemed constitutional. It was unconstitutional for it to be legal. Interracial marriage. Imagine that. So imagine I would be in terrible trouble when we're not even married. Only 50 years ago. But then in other ways, change can happen really quickly. You know, I don't know if you've ever planned to do something one day and then woken up that day and it's not going to happen, right? So that definitely happened to me the night before the fire. I was going to get up and draw trees in Golden Gate Park. I'd gone and got my art supplies and I was off to draw trees, except the fire department was pulling us out of the house and all our belongings were burning. So that wasn't going to happen. And you know, it's happened in between. But this last week, it happened again. Oh my God. So Sunday night, a week ago, so it's Monday morning in California here now. So a week ago, on Sunday, I was running around sauna with my friends and telling them that I'd never felt better. Literally using those words. I've never felt better in body and mind than I do right now. And my eyes just hold up. I've got water in my eyes. And it was true. I mean, it felt fantastic in body and mind. And that's not a usual place for me. You know, if you know my story, I mean, like so many people, it's taken me a long time to come home to some peace in this body. And I really feel like this year I'm really getting it, right? And so as I'm getting it and feeling it, I get the opportunity to feel it in a different way. So we came back from a fantastic trip down to Orange, got a lot of filming done, did a lot of walking, felt good, and was running around filming saying, I'm doing this because I can, and I know so many people who can't, and it just came at such a sudden, like, you just never know when it's going to come. When 1 minute you're out walking your dog, something as simple as that, and then you can't do it. It's not like you want to run a marathon or ride 100 miles on your bike. You'd just like to be able to go out and take your dog for a walk, and all of a sudden you can't. It's really quite humbling, actually. And like I say, it can happen on a dime. So last Sunday, running around, happy. Monday morning was going to spin class. These were the plans. And meeting our friend who was starting a job on Tuesday. We hadn't managed to see her, so we're actually going to go to the river, and we're going to have a river day outside of the weekend when everyone else wasn't there. And was packing my bikini on Monday morning, woke up at 7 o'clock, packed my bikini, went to the bathroom and said, I feel a little odd. And within 10 minutes I was in bed. And then I was telling Samaj I didn't think I could go to spin class. I didn't think I could go, bless me. Then he asked, did he want me to call the doctor? I said, no, I just sleep it off. And within 10 minutes, I was like, no, I think you're better. So fortunately, got into the doctor's at 9. Well, by the time we got there at 9, I couldn't walk. I was in so much pain. The doctor looked at me and said, I can't do anything for you. You need the emergency room, you need morphine, and you need to be there right now. And that's how I ended up at the emergency room last Monday. So this time last Monday, I was cuddled in all these warm blankets as I was freezing cold. My beats per minute were really low, and like 41, so I wasn't getting a lot of heat in my body, a lot of oxygen. And you know, I had CT scans. It's not a kidney stone, which is what it felt like. The pain's so intense. I have had kidney infections since I was 15, so I just haven't had one in like 10 years, so it's a bit of a surprise. So I was there for 9 hours. 9 hours. It was a long time. And then I've literally been in bed pretty much, or on the sofa with a heat pad on my back and a hot water bottle on my front for the past 8 days. got out to go to the doctor's once, and I did manage to walk down the road one day, just half a mile. Managed to do that one day. But here's the thing. When I was in SoCal, when I was in Los Angeles, when I was in Orange, Los Angeles, Orange, it's Orange, not Los Angeles. Doesn't matter to people who don't live there, but matters very much to those who do. But when I was there, I was doing things and saying I was doing them because I could. And this is one of the things I've noticed a lot, is that we often want to do things that we can't do. And so when we become incapacitated, this is the time when we say, oh, I wish I could go walk. Oh, I wish I could go work out. Oh, I wish I could go on a bike ride. Well, check yourself. When you are well, do you do that? Because that's the acid test, the litmus test. I'm thinking a lot about litmus. I've got some here. Litmus paper. The litmus test, because I've been testing my pee and my water, and I want to know what's going on in my body. And so that is that, what's your litmus test of it's very easy to want to do things when you can't, right? So one of my fasting and feasting, the biggest lesson I've learned about myself this year is that I often want what I can't have. And then when I can have it, I don't want it. You see, so it's not even just as bad as wanting what you can't have, because then when you actually do get it, you don't want it. And so how fucked up is that? So then it just becomes... it just becomes necessary, I guess, to kind of pry into why you're wanting something and what's going on. So I can actually sit here and be, quite content that in that 2 weeks when I was away, I really did go out every opportunity I got. I went out in the morning, and very often in the evening, I laced up my shoes again and I went out again because I could. And this week I couldn't. And I didn't feel quite as bad this week that I couldn't, because in some ways, I guess, because I could, and I know that as soon as I can, I will. But it's about getting real with ourselves. And then, one of the biggest things that appealed to me about Buddhism when I first started taking teachings, was the idea of how much suffering we cause ourselves. And again, it's something I've been doing a lot of work on this year again. Oh dear. The 3 difficult practices, and looking at our triggers and our shampa, and recognizing that we can have triggers with things that are good too. Of course, we get addicted to life being good. It's really nice when life's good. Maybe that's what I was getting. Life was good, right? So how do I like it when I think it's not good, or whatever? We want to put that label on. And yeah, it's scary being sick. It's scary parts of your body not working, and not knowing really why. But also being with what is rather than trying to be with what you'd like to be. And I know that sounds like really simple and really cliche, but at the end of the day, I mean, if we can actually be with what is at the time... Whoops, I nearly slipped then, bloody hell. I need a little non-slip mat in the bath. It's because I'm trying to make sure I'm not exposing myself. I'm just keeping down. And I forgot what I was saying now, gosh. But about being honest with ourselves, I know I was talking about that, just totally being honest with what it is that we would do and what we do with our time, and getting honest with how much we think would be nice to do if we had the time, but then if we even had the time, we wouldn't do it because it's not a priority. And this is where it gets into the sticky stuff. And we start to wait because we think we've got tomorrow. We can do this tomorrow. I can, I've got to do this work. I can do this tomorrow. I'll get back to it. And then maybe the person's not here tomorrow. Maybe you're not here tomorrow. Or maybe you're not here in the same way. Maybe you've got your bikini in the bag, but ain't no way you're making it to the river, baby, because you're in the emergency room being pumped with morphine, and you can't wait for them to get it in you, which is when I know it's really bad. I'm crying for morphine. Because there's a place for it. There really is. And so here we are 8 days later. Yes, I would love to be better. I would love to be 100% better, and I know that Boo would love for that too. He's getting a little concerned. And I'm just trying to do what I can. I'm drinking lots of water, I'm trying to be good to my mind, because that's what I was saying, right, was that, and when I got interrupted by my thoughts, was that if we stress ourselves out about it, then, and we cause ourselves more suffering, then it's just going to make it worse, right? It's that we're wanting to be well when we're not. And so we do different things when we're well than when we're not. So to actually accept that where we are is where we are, and then to work within that. You know, I'm just actually massaging my kidney right now. Poor little kidney. Everything else feels fine. It's just my little kidney. It is little. It was, I have a small kidney from when I was a kid. Yeah. And so hopefully I can get some relief for it. And but in the meantime, you know, like, what are you waiting for? Because at the end of the day, you know, if I, like back when I was changing my life, if I tried to just lose weight or get a different job, I would still find myself hitting 50 being in a similar position, right? I haven't addressed the causes. So, so my work's been about how I feel and trying to feel as good as I can feel with whatever's going on. It's really paying off right now. As I said, it's my birthday month. I'm not normally a big birthday person, but I was hitting 50, or I still am hitting 50, feeling better than ever. So I was thinking that was just freaking fantastic, that I felt better than I did at 34. But of course, human. And but even so, I can still find some gratitude. And here's the other thing too, is how little we can be grateful for when everything's going well, right? You know, the simple act of taking a shower, it's something like 12:30 now. I've been going to take a shower for like the last 3 hours. And it took a deep breath to get in here. And it's taken a really deep breath to talk to you. And I'm sure that afterwards I'm probably just going to be laying there. Actually, it's 12:30. I've got to go to the doctor's in half an hour. So that'll be about me wiped out for today, you know. And that's how it goes. You know, just sometimes that's how it goes. And it very much goes back to what Don Miguel Ruiz says in the 4 agreements of doing the best we can with what we have, you know, and that's all we can do is the best we can with what we have. Yeah, I'm terrified at times, and there's work that's not being done, and there's all kinds of stuff that I could think about, but I keep bringing myself back to the present and just going, okay, I've just got to get through this, just through this. What more can I do? I'm not sure, but to get through this. And so I ask you too, you know, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for to line up so that you can start whatever it is you think that when you've got it done, it will be fine. But really what you need to start on is you, right? So that you can get 5 years, 10 years, 15 years down the line, and you've got tools to deal with these things that life just puts in our way. No matter how much control we think we have or how much we look after ourselves, life's going to get there, so it's going to come in. And so what do we do about it? And we got to master our minds, right? Because that's what we're left with. At the end of the day, I can't go out walking my dog, but I've got my mind's right here. And it can take you on the right old loop if you let it. Or you can have it work for you. Like Jacob Agen always tells us, you either master the mind or the mind masters you. You know, and it's very true. And it can be joint, you know, it doesn't mean that you're always in charge and that you're always victorious over it. But the more you work on it and the more you get to know it through the difficult practices, through the 3 difficult practices, and through accepting everything's temporary, and that the joys are inside, they're not on the external. I mean, just, it's like life's lessons going pow, 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 pow. Do you get me now, Shivi? And I'm like, I get you. But of course, those 3 words, I get it, they're an invitation for the universe to go, well, you get it when it's like that. How about when it's like this, Shivi? Do you get it now? And so we get another opportunity, another invitation. So if you're waiting around, you know, and you're thinking you don't have time, or it's too late, or there's just too much, get a grip doll and come over, check out Get Your Happy Back, because over there, that's where we are committed to our lifetime members to take you through with the tools and formulas and strategies that I've used. I'm not perfect by any means. In fact, I think that what makes me a good teacher is I'm not perfect. So I fuck things up all the time, and then I share it, because I do like to be an honest sharer. So I do mess things up, and you know, and I struggle a lot. I struggle a lot with who I am. I struggle a lot with my place in the world. I struggle a lot with how I look and how I feel. And I struggle because I feel. I struggle because I feel. That's why, right? Because so often I spent such a lifetime knowing what was going to happen, and I was just in a numb place. So I struggle, and I'm not saying that you have to struggle, that feeling is all about struggling or struggling is all about feeling. But what I'm saying is that oftentimes what we equate as struggle is a label that we put on, that it's struggle, right? That it's hard, that it's this thing, but it's not always, and everything's what the label that we put on. And at the end of the day, it's a range of emotions. That's all it is. And we decide with it, oh, at this level it's a struggle, at this level it's great. It's great, but quite often we're not looking at what the payoff is and what we're having to put in there. So so I say, you know, there's no time like the present, whether you're in your 20s, 30s, 50s, or 70s. And I think we've got everyone in that age group, maybe in the 70s, maybe late 60s, and get your happy back, because it's not about how old you are. It's just about getting your mind on board, and it's about starting it today, because it is a lifelong process. Don't let anyone tell you that you're going to get this shit sorted out and they've got the formula and that you just get this formula and it's sorted out forever, because it's not. It's forever work. That's why we're here. We're not here to just sort it out, because if we're here to just sort it out, then we'd all be sorted and it'd be a very different world. But we're not all sorted. We're all messed up, and we're all messed up so that we can all sort ourselves out together. And it will take as long as it takes, possibly much longer than we're going to be here for. But don't let that put you off, because you get done what you get done, don't you? And so, well, thanks very much for holding me up today. This does happen when we get to share like this in yoga teacher training. 2001, it's a long time ago. 2002. I was sick for that, and the teacher said I was like curled up on my sheepskin before my practicum, and I had to go teach a class and pass with all my teachers. And I tuned in, and I was just like radiant. It really was. Taught a great class, and then long time sunshine song, and then I would collapse back on my mat again. I had peaked while I needed to. I was held up while I needed to. So I feel like that's what you guys have done here, and that's why I wanted to come in live. I don't know if there's anybody here. It's on my phone. I've never done this before on my phone, so it's all new. You know me, I like to do new things when things are a bit iffy, you know. I make new dishes when I go to see people and take over a dish, or do a new video when I'm sick and naked. But that's what life's about, right? It's about finding those edges wherever we are. So if you're waiting around and you're ready to stop waiting around and start taking the next step, come and join me for summer solstice session. We're going to have lots of fun. My 50th birthday is coming up. Summer solstice is my favourite day of the year. It's my Christmas. I think so many things are possible when we start. And Get Your Happy Back's 2 years old this season. And we've got people who've been in there for 9 seasons. You can check out their testimonials. Like, it's just beautiful what's happening with people. And it's so beyond losing weight or finding your lover or getting the job that you want. There's so much more available to you than that. So much more. onewomanrevolution.nextstep. No, that's not right, is it? onewomanrevolution.tv/next step. That's where you go. onewomanrevolution.tv/next step. That's where you join us and get your happy back. Because, you know, it's not all about smiling through everything, but it is about finding a way through everything, right? And when we can start to do that, then life just feels better. And I don't know, I just prefer a life that feels better to me. It's just, it feels better. I don't need to explain that. This is Shiv Charankar, and say a prayer for me. I hope I feel better soon too. I love you very much. Thank you for joining me. And think about coming over to onewomanrevolution.tv/next step and taking that next step with us. You won't be sorry.